And we're back, guys. Tennis in a minute. I'm your host, Good Energy. I give you the rundown on tennis coverage every day, and that's Victoria Azarenka, the world's ranked 26, former world's ranked number 1. She's the 12th seed here in Charleston, taking on big game Jessie P. Now, coming into this matchup, these two ladies have played a total of 5 times. Azarenka owned the head-to-head 3-2, but Pegula won their very first meeting at a slam. At a slam that Victoria won previously, the Australian Open. Now, this is a clay surface event, 500 points up for grabs, $500,000. Victoria Azarenka, not necessarily known as an elite clay player, right? But she's very skilled. She's very tactical. And I've made several videos talking about her game. She's very situational. She's very tactical. She plays chess. She can go down the line. She can jam the body on the serve when she needs to. And she's great at pinning opponents deep. Her drop shot's good. She's an all-around great player. And if you missed the segment that the Tennis Channel did in regards to her and Serena's relationship, it was a beautiful piece. They're good friends. We all know this. And that's one reason I love Victoria Azarenka. But Victoria Azarenka has had a bad rap over the years as known as being a diva. Sometimes she quits on sets, right? Sometimes she doesn't play as hard. She's been known to abuse the physio and call for the physio. And at one time during her career, a lot of people thought she was faking injuries. That's a bad rap. That's a tough reputation to shake. However, though, we all know she's got the championships, over 20 main tour titles, 2 Grand Slams. We all know she's an elite player. But I can remember a time on tour where she was looking like a steak dinner to these young players. And right now, Pegula was one of those players. Listen, guys, the first set, the ladies exchange breaks, but Jessica Pegula would get the key break and take the first set. The second set, Azarenka would bounce back and take it 6-3. Now, things started to get good in the third set. Meanwhile, Victoria Azarenka losing 41% of her second serves, winning about 60% of her first serves, while Pegula getting 72% of her first serves in play, winning 61% of the first serve. But this is a key stat that really affected this matchup. Pegula had several opportunities to close out this match. That's right. She had several match points, 20 breakpoint opportunities against Victoria Azarenka, 20-2-0. Victoria Azarenka had her share of opportunities versus Pegula as well. And she had several match points, and she would fail to convert them. But it came down really, and listen, I use this word lightly, the defense of Pegula in the key situations. I just feel the big opportunity Pegula had was a mid-range game. I just feel that coming across court, Pegula is just a little bit more technical than Vika at this stage of her career. And I talked about Vika in the past, how, a lot of times it's just when you get older, right? And this is the beauty of getting older when you're an athlete. You start to see the game mentally, just in a different perspective that you didn't see it when you were younger, where you had all the physical attributes, where you were fast, athletic, explosive. When you get older, you start to visualize the game. And you ever heard that saying, work smarter, not harder? As a professional athlete, as you age, you start to see the sweet science of the game. And that's the difficult thing as an aging player, is because you don't have that athletic ability to kind of put 2 and 2 together. Now, yes, we're starting to see a trend here where players like LeBron James are getting older and they're able to teach that wisdom to the youth, but also incorporate it while having a decent amount of athletic ability left in their career. But that's the sweet science about aging and getting older as a player. You mentally see the game in a different perspective. Now, I feel here Pegula is just the better, more explosive athlete. This is a match she's going to win moving forward. Now, in terms of defense, that's one area I just feel Victoria Azarenka just hasn't been the best at. She wins about 35% of her return games. The elite players on tour, they're winning about 50% or more of their return games, i.e. Coco, Iga Swiatek. And I just feel with the reputation that Victoria has had over her career, the reputation of being a diva, complaining all the time to the chair umpires, slamming her rackets down. And of course, she did that in this match. There goes the racket. Oops, guys. She's had that reputation of, and look, if you don't know, you don't know. Look, I'm not going to be the one to inform you. You got to do your research. But Victoria's reputation over the years, it hasn't been a good one. At one point, to today's standards, someone like Anna Collins Kaya, who she practices with, she has a reputation of calling for the physio, abusing that, right, to slow players down in terms of their momentum and stuff like that. Victoria had that reputation in the past. So I don't necessarily consider her this extreme fighter or pusher or defensive powerhouse. I feel she does what she needs to do to win. And look, we're not going to knock that, but when I think about great elite defensive players, I think about players that for the most part are great at breaking players, winning return points, not necessarily the biggest and the strongest and the fastest, but mentally they get balls back and they do whatever they need to do to win. And Victoria Azarenka was very upset here. She slammed the racket down, and you would be too, guys, if you gave your opponent 20 breakpoint opportunities. Pegula comes through. She gets the victory. But what about Danielle Collins, guys? Danielle Collins taking on Elisa Mertens. This match, guys, I have never seen Elisa Mertens under so much pressure. Danielle Collins and her power had Elisa Mertens running front, back, side to side like a new TikTok dance move or something. It was bad, insanely bad. And Danielle Collins wins. She makes another semifinal, back-to-back, guys, 1,500. Can she win this tournament, guys? I think she's going to have a really good chance to win this tournament. She's playing solid. This is the type of player you want to watch out for. Not only is she now your third-ranked American behind Coco and Pegula, she's going to make the Olympics, ladies and gentlemen. Can Danielle Collins win gold? If she keeps this form up, she's going to have a great chance. And if you missed her interview, she talked about how female athletes have this stigma that they have to hold this certain standard. They can't be outspoken. They can't be loud. Danielle Collins said, look, I'm going to continue to be myself. And if you don't like it, too bad. I am not going to change for anyone. I thought that was just the most beautiful speech she gave today after her victory. And next up, she's going to take on the Greek goddess, guys. Now, that's going to be a very entertaining matchup. I tell you all the time, when it comes to hard, I like players that have very powerful backhands in contrast to facing players with forehands. But on clay, in contrast to the backhand, I like players that can hit the running forehand, right? You don't need to be stationary to find that equilibrium on your racket. And look, you can hit passing shots, you can come cross court, and you can really put the pressure on your opponent to return and keep them on the back foot. This is the type of matchup I feel is going to be very entertaining. I think it's going to be a seesaw battle. I might even do a prediction for it, guys. Who do you think is going to win, Danielle Collins or Zachary? But let's talk about Danielle Collins really quick. She's now your third-ranked American. And this is what happens when you're mentally there, you're in shape, and you're not injured. I told you guys Danielle Collins will win championships this year, plural. Next up is Zachary. Now, the head-to-head is 2-1. Collins does own that head-to-head. Or wait, no, I think Zachary does. I have to double check. I think Zachary owns that head-to-head 2-1, and that's going to be a very entertaining matchup. If I were setting the odds on that matchup, I would make Danielle the favorite since she's on a hot streak, 10 matches in a row. I'd probably set it at about minus 150. What do you guys think? Tennis in a minute. We'll be back. Get your popcorn. Danielle Collins, the Greek goddess Zachary. That's going to be a good match. Elisa Mertens, we'll see you next time out. An amazing effort. Tennis in a minute. We'll be back.